those co-ed things. It's down in Temecula. So it was our 2-month anniversary, and I decided to drive down and spend the day with her. Really? I thought that was romantic. Especially since my car broke down when I got there. But I wasn't too upset. Get to be with my girlfriend in the cabin. You know, guys. Never mind. First date. You know. Okay. So, you know, I'm just that kind of person. I recently did the show Dracula at the Covina Playhouse. I'm not telling you this to impress you with my resume, but I have performed. Anyway, I played a dead captain. For those of you who don't know, there's a dead captain in the story. But to spice things up, liven things up, for my Facebook, I decided to take on the persona of the captain, and I turned my Facebook into the captain's diary. And when the show was over, my friends came up to me and expressed their love for me and said, "Why don't you keep doing the captain, because we like him better than we like you." Yeah, that's who I am. I recently had a job where I had to sell knives, and I'll never forget what my manager told me during training. He said, "A lot of times your customers will tell you that, you know, I don't know if I can afford it." Well, you see, when people say they can't afford it, it doesn't mean they can't afford it. It just means that they don't know if they can afford it. And he said this as the reason why. If you have a credit card bill that's $2,000, if your credit card bill is $250 more, you're still going to pay it. So, why not? So apparently the logic is, it doesn't matter how high your credit card bill is, you're going to have to pay it, so just keep making it higher. That's trickle-down economics for you. For those of you who don't know, the whole trickle-down economics thing, the big corporate stuff, the idea is pretty simple. We simply fill up the pockets of those who are pretty rich, fill it up until it explodes, and then doubloons will fall on the ground for the rest of us to collect. The problem is that doubloons they're no longer worth anything. So I'm sure some of you are probably talking about politics. We've heard a little bit about President Obama. Nowadays, we're always hearing about the big clash between Gingrich and Romney, the Santorum storm. Don't Google. I did. I Googled Santorum storm. Okay. And whoever that other candidate is. But a lot of times in this whole kerfuffle of Republicans, we forget about our good old President Obama. Now, President Obama, I'm going to say, I like him. I think he's a good guy. The problem is, he's got Joe Gaffa Biden next to him. And here's the reason why I call him that. Recently, I was watching a show, I can't quite remember the name. First of all, are there any Marines in here tonight? Okay, because I don't want to offend any Marines. Go Air Force. Now, it was one of those shows where the president is welcoming home veterans. It's a pretty solemn ceremony, you know, bringing home the heroes. In the background, you can hear from the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli. It's very quiet, very solemn like I am right now. And there you have a soldier, and then you have the president and the vice president. And first of all, there are two things I noticed. First, the president is standing at attention. Vice president, at ease. For those of you who took high school, that's the difference between the president and the vice president. President, at attention. Vice president, at ease. And as the song from the halls of Montezuma is playing, I noticed the vice president take his hand, and he moves it down to his side. And I noticed a movement. Apparently the vice president thought that the Marine national anthem was catchy. Considering that Mrs. Biden, I'm surprised she didn't break into dance. From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of... Oh, by the way, Scott, you forgot one of the dances that we white people do. It's called the milkman.
I never saw that one.
Well, you should. Okay. Well, it looks like the light's on, so I'm going to leave you guys. So just remember, sex. Woo!